Hello, welcome to this video. In this video I will talk about cost of life in Brazil. What is more expensive, what's cheaper? I'm a native, lived here over the last 35 years here in Brazil, and I live here in Fortaleza, that is the capital of the state of Ceará, that is located in the northeast of Brazil, the hot beach side of Brazil, okay, and the poor side of Brazil too, that is the northeast. What can I say about the cost of life? If you live here, if you wanna live here, if you wanna come here to travel, enjoy, whatever, I'm sure you enjoy these informations. So, here in Fortaleza, what can I say that is very cheap? Relatively cheap if you live in USA, Europe. When I search for homes in Portugal, in Europe, in USA, what is very cheap here? Rent. Okay? For you to have a notion, you can rent a very luxury apartment here for $600 a month. Okay, very luxury in a very good neighborhood. $600 you rent a very nice apartment. But there is a problem. Some subscribers here told me that is a little bit different from developed countries, because there you rent and the furniture comes with the rent. Here no. Here you are gonna rent and you will receive an empty space, and you have to put the furniture inside, all the furniture, okay, the refrigerators, things like this. There are some rents, there are some apartments that has the furniture inside, but it will be a little bit more expensive. I could say a lot more expensive, okay? But it's not common here you get the furniture inside. You have to buy all these things if you want to rent for the long term. If you rent an Airbnb, you can get good price, and the furniture is inside because you are renting for a season, a short time to stay in a home, and the person lives in the house, or she doesn't live but she wanna rent for a short time, so she leaves the furniture and you use it in Airbnb, and that's how it works. But normally here people buy apartments to invest, and they want to back without furniture and painted, all the walls painted as you find it, okay, as you find it, without anything, okay. So that's how it works. The rent here is very cheap when you compare to São Paulo, here in Fortaleza, okay. But São Paulo, the rent is a little bit more expensive. But when we compare to USA, Europe, and the main place in Germany, in Portugal, or wherever, rent here is cheap. What is very expensive here? But if you earn in reais or euros, you will not feel it. But here, who earns in reals, we feel it a lot. That is food, okay? Food here is not cheap, but in other ways are not so expensive. But don't expect you will save money with food here, because no, food here is extremely expensive. For you to have a notion, if I am a Brazilian in earning reals, I spent for the couple the same thing I spent in the rent, I spent in the food for a month. So let's suppose I pay $500 in rent. I pay another $500 in food for 2 persons to eat with the minimum in the month. Okay. There are some places that sell they try to sell cheaper food because they put big supermarkets here, very big structures, and they try to save money in the logistics of the place. Very simple place with all the foods one above the other, like it's like buying in whole quantities, in big quantities, but you buy the units you want. Okay. They call this atacarejos, and there are some famous brands of atacarejos here. That is Açaí and Atacadão. Atacadão is one of the best, but they rent, their supermarkets are not in the main city, are a little bit distant, but not so distant, are in the city but in distant places, are not in the main areas in the city. That's how they try to sell a little bit cheaper foods, okay? But Açaí is a brand here that sells a little bit more cheap, and they are located inside the city, so if you wanna go there, okay, whatever. Okay, so rent is relatively cheap. Food here is relatively expensive, it's not cheap, okay? Even if you convert to euros or dollars or whatever, it's still being expensive. What is very cheap here if you earn in dollars, in euros? Service. Generally, if you want to go to the dentist, let's say, you will pay a little bit less. A lot less, let me say, okay? A lot than you would pay in USA, Europe. A lot less and with a high quality. Why? Because here everybody has a degree. It's some banal thing that you just go in the corner and buy a degree, a high degree. It's very easy here. It's not so difficult as it is in developed countries. So we have this massive number of people with degrees, and everybody has a degree, and degrees doesn't worth anything. That's the reality. Basically, it's not worth. Okay, so services here generally are very cheap. Okay, if you go to if you are a woman and go make your hair and some thing like this is cheap. Okay, for the quality you get, relatively cheap. Travel by plane here. If you wanna travel and buy airplane tickets, are very expensive. Okay, unfortunately, we have this monopoly with few companies, airlines, offering the service. So we have this monopoly here. So the prices are high. If you wanna travel inside Brazil, from a state for the other, it's generally you will pay high taxes. It's not like in Europe that you go in Ryanair, in that low cost companies, and you get flights for 15 euros, things like this. No. Here, if you get a very cheap ticket, you will have to pay around $150 to $200 if you get a very cheap airline ticket. That's it. Okay, so I think I could answer your doubts about the cost of life. If you have some any question, put in the comment. If I didn't told in this video, whatever, put in the comments. I'll try to answer in another video. So thank you, see you.